Hello and welcome back. This is ProTaleDev back with another Dungeon Architect video, and this is going to be the final video. So the last video I'm ever going to do on this game. Basically, I'm done. I'm officially finished. I spent like an extra two weeks, 3 weeks. Basically, I didn't even upload a video or edit or anything. I just wanted to get this game done, and it's finally finished and in a complete state. So what I'll be doing in this video is explaining kind of where we came from, you know, all the things we've done, and basically where we are now, and then kind of wrapping everything up. Now, a quick mention that this game, I was hoping to release the console version at the same time. However, I've had a bit of trouble trying to get it compressed and uploaded, and basically getting it all working. And I'm having problems with the controls, so it's going to take a little bit longer for that. However, the PC version is finished. It's all working, and so you should be able to just play that on itch.io soon. I'm hoping the next day or so. I believe the trailer goes up tomorrow as well, so which when this is uploaded, probably the same day. But basically the trailer just covers everything. I made the trailer very quickly because I didn't have a whole lot of time. I was trying to get it up, but it covers everything that you can do in the game, so I think it's fine. And basically, yeah, so the game is finished. Of course, we got a lot of things that I didn't show off, obviously things like this, which is working, you know, the credits, all of these different things. But basically, I didn't want to work on this anymore. Of course, we've got all our levels, which have all been tested. They all work. They all work correctly. All the objectives work. Of course, you can delete everything. Everything is done. Ultimately, the thing that took the most time to actually test was the dungeon, which I was still not 100% happy with it, but I did my best to try and get as many bugs sorted and as many things fixed. And I got rid of most of the issues and most of the big problems. So yeah, there'll be a couple of bugs in there, but I've done the best I can with what I've got left, and I'm happy with it. So if we're looking back at the early time of this game, we started off with just a very basic island, and we were just trying to get the controls and the placement working before we worked on the dungeon. The dungeon went through essentially 3 different overhauls and 3 different types of changes. Basically the dungeon aspect of it was very much the overhaul aspect because it just wasn't great. Ultimately though, I decided to just have the dungeons generate on their own, based on their own difficulties and things, and then have the enemies determined based on the specific difficulty of that dungeon. Now, looking back at the overall island, I'm very happy with it. We got the stores, that's all working, our characters are working, you know, we got our general, our guild, which has all our management aspects to it, our potion crafting, our weapon crafting, we've got our inspection, all of our objectives. We also had a bit of dialogue. Of course, we've got our resource bar and everything here. And then in the dungeon, we have our main weapons, our character, the dungeon spawning, and our monsters and everything like that. So we've done a lot in this game. This is by far my most complex game that I've made, and that's to be expected considering how long I've worked on it. I also did a lot of things that I've never touched on ever. So things like the effects, like the new graph system, visual graph, things like shaders. I worked on different shaders in this, as experimenting on that. Also the navigation, like changing the AI. These are all things I've never really done in the past, and so I was really excited to work on in this game. Now, ultimately, that means that we're coming to the end of the year now. We're in November, and in December I'll be doing a game jam, just like every December, which is Christmas related, and I'll be going to the Oxcast game jam, as I do every year. So essentially that will mean that I'll only have potentially 2 games that I've done this year. However, I think it's important to mention how extensive this game was, and how much time it took, and how complex it ended up being. There's a lot of levels, and yeah, so it was ultimately, I think it was worthwhile. As I mentioned, there'll be a game jam coming out soon. I want to try and get this game on console, and I'm going to be uploading this to itch.io for free to play, of course, for anyone who wants to play it. And there's also, I'm hoping to get it eventually released. No guarantees though on potentially Steam or something else, but no guarantees at the moment. Hopefully the game will be uploaded on either Wednesday or Thursday of November 23rd or 24th. and yeah, you can just play it however you like. Another mention, I want to thank the people who were encouraged me to try and keep this game going. There was many times where I almost quit, and I had a few people who I know who managed to keep me going on it. And when you're working on a game like this for so long, it becomes very easy to just ignore it or forget it or just not want to do it anymore. You know, you get a bit of development fatigue when you're working on the same thing. And those people managed to keep me going, so big thanks to them. I also attempted 2 other game jams while I was developing this game, but because this game was taking so much time, I didn't really have much fun in those game jams, and ultimately I didn't even submit for those game jams because I was just so distracted by this, trying to get it desperately done. It was taking so much time that it ended up kind of taking away from those game jams. Hopefully now I can really enjoy some game jams, and next year I'm not going to be working on a big project. Basically I'll do what I did the previous year, which when I worked on Turtle Trial in 2020, I then took like a big extended break of just making smaller games in 2021, and now in 2022 I've essentially spent all this time making this game, and I'm probably going to do one more game jam. So next year I'll be doing smaller game jam games, and that's kind of like the rhythm I'm going in at the moment. And yeah, I really enjoyed making this game. It was a really cool experience, a hell of a lot of code and a lot of optimization that I've had to do, but ultimately it was a great experience. Okay, so this has been ProTaleDev. Please check out this game if you get the chance, and make sure to give feedback and enjoy, and we'll see you again next time.